Hi everybody, I'm live on different platform in Facebook and also in Instagram. And good evening, good afternoon, good early morning in the US. Here in Australia now it's actually already 11 p.m. And I choose to do it in Instagram and also in a different platform of Facebook. Say, let's see how this works. And today I just a little bit, a few days ago, I was talking with Amanda and she's working with me. She's amazing. And she's like, I really desire to do this 20, 30 minutes of Facebook Live, Instagram Live, talking about the elements of intimacy. So, what are the elements of intimacy? Some of you guys already have been, hi, everyone is joining live. Some of you guys, I'm sure they know the Access Consciousness tool. Some of you probably don't because it might be from my public profile. And when we talk about intimacy, actually, before coming across the Access Consciousness, or when I was hearing and talking about intimacy, was always in a way referring about sex, about like, and what if actually intimacy is something totally different that doesn't have to have anything to do with sex? And what if you could have and embrace such a level of intimacy with yourself to create such a different relationship with yourself, with your body, with your partner, with your business? What if you could have intimacy with everything in your life? And in Access, there are 5 elements of intimacy. It's allowance, trust, gratitude, vulnerability, and honor. And today I'm going to talk about allowance. I think allowance being one of the main Access Consciousness tools that actually saved my life, change it, and every day, every single day, thanks to being the tool of allowance, my life become greater every day. And so, what if allowance? What is allowance? Allowance, it's really the willingness to have anything, let it be for what it is, or have anyone, let it be for what they are, without being the effect of what things or people or situation actually are going, to create. It's just funny because Dr. Dean here, the co-creator of Access Consciousness, mention it and say, if you be total allowance, you are like a marshmallow. A marshmallow, you can actually push it, and then your finger gets into it, but then as soon as you took it out, the marshmallow come back the same form it was before. So it's really like, what if we can be, the marshmallow of this reality, the marshmallow in your life, this marshmallow about anything that comes up for you. And first of all, even if it's the first time you hear talking about Access Consciousness is this amazing technique that have pragmatic tools to create a greater life and change anything in your life. And it's not about doing the tools. It's not about, oh, how do I apply this? It's not about how do I apply to do allowance. It's not about doing. It's really about embracing and being totally. And it's being the interesting point of view about anything and everything. Most of the time, we are so good on judging ourselves. It's such a hard job to be the interesting point of view. It's such a hard job not having a point of view about something, right? What I heard usually most of the time is based mainly about ourselves, or what we create, or how our money situation is, or how we are managing our business, or how our relationship is going. What if you are really willing to be interesting point of view about any thoughts, feelings, emotion, and any situation that comes up for you? What would that be? I try it. I know I try it. I be it. since the last 10 years of my life. And I was, I think before even knowing what allowance was, I already had that on me. But I've been judged a lot in the past. Oh, everything works for you, huh? I'm like, Francesca, it's fine. Everything works for her. And I didn't understand why people were telling me that. I'm like, what do you mean? Everything works. It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing, the fact that I can actually make things works for me, even if, they don't really, I don't really have a big attachment or they regard someone else. And the fact was really like being willing to be the allowance no matter what. I know, guys, sometimes hurts, and sometimes hurts like when you might have something going on. Let's say, for instance, being allowance with your family, and or someone that you really love, exciting your family, is creating, is doing, or is actually reacting to you in a way that you probably don't desire, and it hurts because you don't expect it. But what if you what if you being the interesting point of view and just saying, interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Just repeating, interesting point of view, I have this point of view, and being the energy of it, everything lights up. And fighting most of the time doesn't really create. Actually, for me, make things even worse most of the time, fighting. And actually, allowance, it's total allowance. It's no fight, no right or wrong. It's just being the space of possibility and see if something else is really possible. And the fact as well that one of the gifts for me of being allowance has been, as I say at the beginning, because I have 100 things going off in my mind, and then I probably tell you to disconnect it. It's been really like embracing the allowance on myself, The fact actually to avoiding judging myself and being allowance even when I was not creating or doing, or not I was, when I am, because it's constantly. It's not something that it's a constant base. It's not something that you get and you will get it forever. You need to be the demand of being allowance constantly. And so for me, the fact that being willing to be interesting point of view or anything I am, at being created more ease, more joy, of course, like avoiding judgment, less judgment. And as well, because when you get into, let's see, for instance, let's do the exercise. There is something that doesn't really work for you, whatever going on for you, anything. Could be with yourself, with your body. You don't like your butt. Your partner, your husband just got late, or he or slash she cooked a meal that it's not really so good, right? Or they just bought a pair of shoes that you don't like, or they just, I don't know, they just say something that you don't really like, or your daughter, for example, just told you, or your son just opened the fridge and say, there is nothing in this fridge, mom. Or I don't like this meal that you just prepared, or anything, okay? Or someone come and look at your car. That's not really a good car. That's not a nice car. Or interesting pair of shoes you have. Whatever, anything. I'm really being maybe ridiculous now, but just anything that pops to you that actually create that sense of annoyance, blah blah blah. Cool. Look at that. Take it a second, and really say, interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. How is it? Is it lighting up? All the charge, the right and wrong that we are actually putting into it to, because it's annoying us, or because it's not right what happened, or this is wrong. Is it actually contributing to change that, or it make it worse? But if you are willing to be the interesting point of view, is it light enough for you? And what actually worse could happen that doesn't work, right? And one other thing as well that I wanna, since I don't wanna go for 40 minutes, I wanna actually be on the 20 minutes today, because we are going to start facilitator training in an hour 15, starting for us in Australia, 12:30. One other thing as well, like, if you are someone that really cares, if you are someone that you're really interested other people succeed, or you care about people, or you care about something, you care about your partner, you care about also yourself, most of the time we have already defined, or we already expect. If I Let's look at that. What if I don't use expect, but it's also like, we know that if someone we really care about will choose a specific thing, their life will be greater. But who are we actually, first of all, to say that? And we think that caring as well, in that case, it's providing all of that, even if these people didn't ask us anything about it. And but actually, total allowance is not about caring, but total allowance, it's actually being willing to don't have any point of view of what people are going to choose, what they're going to create in their life, but making sure that they will always choose whatever works the best for them. And I can tell you guys, I've been really going through the things for quite a long, and I real and using the tools of allowance, actually, I will say, for example, with my beautiful daughter, really, I've been saying that every time I've been allowance of her choice, even if I wasn't agreeing with them at all, because I knew she could choose greater. I knew she could create greater. Never happened to you guys, right? That you know that someone else close to you could create greater. And you see them choosing something smaller. But every time I've been in total allowance, and sometimes it took me 3 minutes to get in total allowance, sometimes it took me 10 hours a day, constantly be interesting point of view, this point of view. Doesn't matter, okay? How long? But and so in that case, when I know I'm not in allowance, I don't call anyone, I don't call the person, because then I know I will actually create the space or possibility, but I will create really my point of view in that person, my fixed point of view in the person. So one of the things I notice that when I'm in total allowance, people will always choose greater. And what if as well we are willing to be in total allowance for us? Whatever you choose, you guys, whatever you're judging about, or whatever showed up in your life, what if you can be the interesting point of view? What if being allowance is actually the biggest gift you could actually be for yourself? The greatest kindness you could be for yourself. The fact that getting out of the judgment of what we have to achieve, or what we haven't achieved, or the way that should be. What if we are willing to be an allowance? And as I say, for others, that works also for us. If we don't have any expectation about how things have to show up, they will always show up greater. If you don't have any expectation of what you should choose, or what you should be, or what you should become, guess what? Things always will show up greater. So, yeah, well, I don't know if there is any comment. Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, and now I see it. See, I'm so good Wesley prepared the beautiful layover, the 5 elements of intimacy. Thank you. And then instead of being on comments, I was in private chat. So that's why no one was writing anything. Hi, Amanda. Great. Hi, everyone, also as well in Instagram. If you don't have any other question or any question about allowance, please, from now until tomorrow, 24 hours, that I'm going to talk about trust or gratitude. I don't know. Let's see, or vulnerability. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We will see, or honor. Let's see how tomorrow will go. And what if you really, for any thoughts, feeling, emotion, anything that comes up for you, you just be the interesting point of view. What would that be? And have an amazing day. And if you're coming to CF, see you very soon. And ciao. Now, how do I stop? 2 things.